Hi, I'm Kate, the Daily Tarot Girl, and welcome to my tarot card meaning deep dive into the Two of Cups. I am going to tell you all about the Two of Cups. I'm going to tell you what this card means when it shows up in one of your readings, what it means when it shows up reversed. I'm going to break down all the symbols on the card, and towards the end of the video, I'm going to give you some really fun tarot journaling prompts. But before we get into it, I have created a free Minor Arcana tarot meaning cheat sheet for you. You can grab your copy below. I'm going to put the link below. And I designed this cheat sheet to help you in your tarot readings and your tarot studies. Okay, are you ready? Let's dive into the Two of Cups. So the image that you see on your screen is from my Giant Rider Waite Tarot deck. And the Two of Cups, this is a card of harmony, connection, love, partnership, communication, all that good stuff. So the Two of Cups is from the Suit of Cups, and the Suit of Cups corresponds to the element of water, and the Suit of Cups is all about emotion, feeling, intuition, communication, and relationships. And it's number 2, and the number 2 shows up differently in the different suits. So we've already covered the Two of Pentacles. So Two of Pentacles was about kind of balancing or juggling two different things. Two of Swords was about that feeling of conflict, trying to make a choice between two things. And with the Two of Cups, we have two entities, two beings coming together and forming an alliance and a partnership. Okay, so I'm going to give you some keywords for this card. Harmony, connection, love, partnership, alliance, working together, merging and blending, healing. This is a card of healing. And I think of this card, Two of Cups, as being like the honeymoon phase in a relationship. And one thing I should point out here is that the Two of Cups doesn't necessarily signify a romantic relationship, but it's a harmonious relationship. So it could be a friendship, a working partnership, working on a project with someone. But typically it tends to usually signify some sort of romantic relationship, but it doesn't have to. And I think of the Two of Cups as being like the honeymoon phase in any relationship where you meet, you come together, and both of you have good intentions, you're in your hearts, and you see the good in each other. You see the best in each other. And so Two of Cups is about what happens when two people come together, both from that place of having good intentions, wanting the best for each other, and seeing the good in each other. Of course, relationships don't stay in the honeymoon phase, but the Two of Cups is about the honeymoon phase. And I think of the Two of Cups as kind of being like the minor arcana equivalent to the Lovers, which is a major arcana card. But I think of the Two of Cups as being like a less intense, a more down-to-earth and enjoyable card as opposed to the Lovers. The Lovers has this like weird intensity to it. It's like meeting someone and being like, you're my soulmate. Whereas the Two of Cups is like meeting someone being like, oh, I like being around you. Like, let's work together. Let's get to know each other. So there's like, it almost feels like with the Two of Cups, there's like less expectation and heaviness, and it feels very real and very doable and workable. Whereas the Lovers is this like kind of intense card with a lot of intensity and expectations around it. Okay, let's break down the symbols. Let's look at the symbols on this card. So the first symbol I want to draw your attention to is what I call the medical symbol. So it's the black sword and then the two snakes entwining up the sword. So that is a medical symbol. And to me, that really highlights the idea of healing and the healing potential of a relationship, a good relationship. So love, connection, connecting with another person, healthy communication, relationships, all of those things have the potential to be very, very healing. The second symbol I want to bring your attention to is the lion's head. So we see a red lion's head with wings at the very top. And I associate the lion's head with courage. And it makes me think of the strength card, because there's also a lion in strength. So the lion's head makes me think of courage and the fact that in order to connect with another person in a meaningful way and to be in your heart and to share your heart with another takes a lot of courage. But I also look this symbol up in my book. So I have a tarot book that I sometimes consult for these videos. It's called The Tarot, History, Symbolism and Divination by Robert M. Place. And I looked up that symbol in this book, and he said that the lion's head represents the lion-headed god of the Mithraic mysteries, and it's a symbol of divine power. I like my version better. I like seeing the lion as courage because I feel like that just kind of makes sense in this context. And then I want you to look at the hands on this card. So the man is kind of reaching out to the woman on the card kind of gently and just kind of gently touching his fingertips to her hand. And this is this sort of like, it's a symbol of connection, so they're physically connecting, but it's kind of tentative. There's this like reaching out, there's like kind of a gentleness to it. And I think that that's important to note here because the Two of Cups is a very gentle card. It's not about two people passionately crashing in together. There is this kind of a coolness, almost a level-headedness with the Two of Cups. So that hand reaching out is a symbol of connection, that these two people are connecting. And the last symbol I want to talk about, which isn't the most obvious symbol, but it's the man and the woman on this card. Notice that they are both dressed very differently from each other, and they're both wearing a crown of flowers, but each person's crown looks very different. So I think that this is a symbol, and it shows two different people. They look different, they're dressed differently, they have different flower crowns, and they're coming together. It's this idea of two different people, two different energies, but merging in a harmonious way. So they're different, yet they're complementary. So their differences aren't a problem, they aren't clashing, but they're complementary of each other. It's like when you're working on a project with someone and they have this whole skill set that you don't have, but that's important, and you have a whole different skill set that they don't have, which is equally important. Okay, so when this card shows up in one of your readings, this is what it might mean. So sometimes when the Two of Cups shows up in a reading, it's there to kind of confirm that a relationship, especially if you're asking about a relationship, it confirms that the relationship you're asking about has potential. And if you're not asking about a relationship and the Two of Cups comes up, it could be saying that, you know, there's a relationship on the horizon, or this part of your life is important and needs attention. But most often it's telling you to look for common ground when it comes to your relationships. So romantic relationships, working relationships, friendships, look for common ground. Don't just look at the differences. So don't just notice the differences, but look for common ground with another person and seek complementary energy, not necessarily the same identical energy. So I hear a lot of people saying things like, oh, I just wish I could connect with more like-minded people, or I want to meet someone that shares all my passions and hobbies. And I have noticed in myself that my most meaningful friendships and my most enduring relationships have always been with people who are completely different from me. Whenever I meet someone that's really similar to me, the friendship tends to fizzle out pretty quickly and it doesn't seem to last. But I look at my husband, my best friends, the people I get along best with, and they're people that are totally different from me. They have completely different interests. They have totally different communication styles, but we do always have some common ground. We may have very different interests and hobbies, but we usually share some things. There's some overlap there. So the message of the Two of Cups is don't just seek people who are exactly like you. Seek complementary energy, not necessarily identical energy. and to see others' differences as an asset, not a problem. Two of Cups reminds you to celebrate harmony and connection. And to connect with another person, you have to be in your heart. So when maybe you're getting ready to have a big conversation with someone or a difficult conversation with someone, whether that's a romantic partner or someone in the workplace or something like that, it always helps to get into your heart first and to communicate from that place of your heart rather than just your head. So that is a big message of the Two of Cups, is that in order to really connect with people and communicate well and to create that sense of harmony and peacefulness in your relationships, you need to be in your heart. And the other message or meaning of the Two of Cups is that your relationships have the potential to be very healing for you. So navigating relationships, navigating communication and emotional connection can be a really powerful path to healing. Okay. So every card has an external way of looking at it, like an external message and an internal message. The external message or external meaning of the Two of Cups is partnership with another being. So this card is all about partnership, merging, forming an alliance with another person. Internally, it's about inner healing, and especially emotional healing and creating a sense of inner harmony within you. If this card shows up reversed, if the Two of Cups shows up in your reading upside down, reversed, it's interesting. So it can symbolize difficulties with communication. So maybe one or both parties are not really in their hearts. And it can be this sort of, difficulties with communication. It can represent feeling misunderstood and lack of a connection in a relationship, particularly an emotional connection. It can show that energies aren't really blending well, like two different people coming together, but instead of this harmonious mixing and merging, you have more of a clashing kind of energy. And it really represents, Two of Cups upside down really represents your sense of harmony is being challenged in some way. So it could represent disharmony and some conflict in a relationship. All right, so here are some journaling questions for you, some journal prompts. What alliances or partnerships are you currently involved in? And how are you merging and blending your energies with those people in your life? Which relationships could use more harmony and connection right now? If we think of the Two of Cups as being kind of the ideal of like this relationship where two people are coming together, they're both in their hearts, they have good intentions, they see the good in each other, they have different skill sets, but they're kind of coming together in this really peaceful and wonderful way. How does your current relationships kind of match up to that? Like which relationships are you like, oh, this relationship maybe needs a little bit of work? And this is the question I want you to answer me in the comments if you feel like it. How is this card showing up in your life right now? So out of all the different things I've said about this card, how is this card appearing in your life right now? So I'll share my answer with you, even though I know you didn't ask. So I see the Two of Cups as being a nice symbol of the relationship I have with my husband. We're very different people. We have very different interests and different ways of seeing things and approaching things. And our partnership just works. We both kind of take care of different aspects of the relationship. And it's just very, very harmonious. We kind of flow together well, and it's a very harmonious kind of partnership. But I want to hear about you. I want to hear, you know, how this card is showing up in your life right now. And maybe it's showing up reversed. Maybe there's disharmony in some of your relationships, and that's something you're working on. But yeah, Two of Cups, beautiful card, wonderful card. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. It would totally make my day. And don't forget to download your Minor Arcana Meanings cheat sheet below if you haven't already. So thank you so much for watching, and happy tarot reading.